sun never sets on the British Empire. Every year in our history class, we have this pounded into our heads. This saying is referring to imperialism, which is when one group rules over another group. In Afghanistan, there have been numerous periods of outside rule that show how politics can affect the culture of a nation. The changes in Afghanistan are seen through the national sport, Buzkashi. The sport of Buzkashi shows the changes in Afghanistan during the Russian rule, the Taliban rule, and American intervention. Buzkashi is when people on horseback fight over a decapitated animal carcass. The Russians invaded Afghanistan in 1979 and began to destroy much of the country. Hajid Rashid Dara, head of the Buzkashi Federation, said that when the Russians invaded, they shot everything. They shot all of the horses, and the ones they could not find eventually starved to death. Carl Hoffman of ESPN the magazine said, "The horses used to be native, small but strong, quick and brave. But when the Russians shot everything, they took away all the characteristics the Afghans had worked so hard to breed for." After the rule of the Russians, the Taliban took over. When the Taliban came in, they decimated the rest of Afghanistan and the sport of Buzkashi. They did not specifically forbid the sport of Buzkashi, but they did, however, make it extremely hard to play. They took all those horses that were still left, and they rode them in the summer heat and killed them through neglect. The Muhammad Paulan, a professional Buzkashi player, remembers that during the Taliban rule, that earnings for his match were earrings for his wife, 2 camels, and 5 AK-47s. Everything became militarized during this time, even the sport of Buzkashi, which kind of makes sense though, because it was originally designed for war combat. After the Taliban was overthrown, the United States came in. With the influx of American money, the sport of Buzkashi has grown like never before. The Carl Hoffman says that the atmosphere surrounding Buzkashi has shifted dramatically since the end of Taliban rule. Buzkashi is played on Friday in Afghanistan, and matches can draw thousands of spectators. The horses cost $50,000 each and are owned by a wealthy individual. They also have sponsors such as NASCAR. The players can also make really good money. They can earn up to 10 times average monthly wage in just one match. Najibullah, a professional Buzkashi athlete, says that his father and grandfather also played Buzkashi. Even with the commercialization of the sport, it still holds its family values. Ultimately, though, the change has occurred because of the many rulers has been dramatic. The sport of Buzkashi shows the changes in Afghanistan during Russian rule, Taliban rule, and American intervention. But who knows? The sport of Buzkashi might grow even more and become bigger than football or so.